welcome back to duckinaPot.com. Today we're making lasagna from home. So why doesn't everybody introduce themselves?
Duckmaster Corner.
Duckmaster Craig.
And special guest?
Duckmaster Susan.
Okay. All right. So we're all making lasagna a little bit differently. Actually, I'm not making lasagna today. I've already made mine, but everybody else is. So let's go ahead. We've already started. I think everybody's got hot water on the stove, and they're cooking their lasagna noodles. And I think Susan is preparing some meatless meat, right, Susan?
Yes, some Beyond Burger, and I've crumpled it, and I just put it in a saute with a little olive oil and some garlic powder and Italian seasoning.
Okay. And then Cornelia, what are you preparing for the meat?
Italian sausage and ground beef.
Okay. So we're cooking the noodles, Italian lasagna noodles, till they're very al dente. And we're using regular lasagna noodles like these. You can choose if you want to use oven-ready lasagna noodles. They're no-bake lasagna noodles, but we like the regular lasagna noodles best. So this is a pretty simple lasagna. We've got the lasagna noodles. We're going to use pasta sauce. Today we're using just bottled pasta sauce. If you go to Duck in a Pot, you can find a recipe for our own homemade sauce, but this is kind of a quick and easy version. So we're using 2 bottles of marinara sauce. There's Craig's. There you go. Zia is Italiana. And then we're using about 32 ounces of mozzarella cheese, either the balls or the shredded cheese. We're using about 32 ounces. There we go. There's the mozzarella. Looks like Corny's got his sliced and Craig's got his shredded. And then we're using about 32 ounces of ricotta cheese. You can use whole milk or skim milk. Looks like Cornelia's got maybe low fat, probably skim milk, and
Susan, this is regular organic.
There we go. And Susan, do you have about 32 ounces of that, or is that?
This is 15 ounces.
Do you have a couple of those?
I only have one.
Okay. Well, you're going to be a little low on ricotta, so that's okay. You could use more mozzarella.
Right.
And then we're going to use some Parmesan cheese. So those are our cheeses: mozzarella, ricotta, and Parmesan cheese. And for the vegetable, we're using fresh cut, chopped Italian parsley. And then there's basil in a bottle, and salt and pepper and egg. And that's how we're going to make it. So once everything's lasagna's boiled, we'll put that aside. But while that's boiled, make sure you chop your parsley and prepare your cheese and get your sauce ready. So guys, if you haven't chopped your parsley yet, go ahead and chop it. And Craig, you've showed a couple times some parsley. Can we take a look at that again?
Absolutely.
So is this is your cup of chopped parsley?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, and Craig is using Mexican parsley. That's fine. For this, we like to use flat leaf Italian parsley, but the Mexican parsley works fine. And Corny, you used what?
The Italian one.
Italian parsley. Okay, so we got a little bit of variance there. So, but both will work. Just as long as it's chopped fine. You don't want a really heavy leaf while you're chewing on it. Okay, so I can see Susan mixing her sauce and her meat, and Cornelia's doing the same thing. While that's happening, why don't we have Craig start to prepare the other ingredients in the large bowl. Yeah, so go ahead and take a large bowl, Craig. And in that, we want to add the ricotta cheese. we want 32 ounces of ricotta cheese. Craig has a 15-ounce container there. We want 2 of those containers added. There we go, the ricotta cheese. So add 2 of those into the bowl.
Put my whole one in there.
Okay, that's good. And now that you've got that in there, let's add a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Craig, that's mozzarella. Yeah, there you go. So you can buy mozzarella, the grated Parmesan cheese, and a container, or you can grate it yourself, fresh, whatever works for you. But we need, for the mixture, we need a 1/4 cup. Once you've got the Parmesan cheese in there, I want you to break 2 eggs into the bowl with the other mixture. All right. Craig's got that in there. Cornu's getting his eggs in there. Now that you got your eggs in there, add your 1/2 cup of fresh, finely chopped parsley. Okay, so now that we've got everything mixed, we're going to add some seasonings. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt. So go ahead, Craig, keep that teaspoon of salt in there. We're going to add a teaspoon of dried basil. Great. And a teaspoon of pepper. All right, so I guess we're ready for our next step. You've got your wet ingredients together, your cheeses together, right? And you've got your sauce and meat together in a pan. Now let's get our lasagna pan. We're not going to use a really large one. This is good for like an 8x10 pan or a 9x11. All right, now we've got our lasagna pans ready. We're going to start layering the lasagna. We're going to start with a thin layer of sauce on the bottom of the pan. You can use your sauce mixed with your meat. Okay. All right. Once you put the layer of sauce on the bottom of the pan, now we're going to put a layer of lasagna noodles. So lay them across the top and just slightly overlap them. You might get an 8x10 pan like that, you might get 5 noodles across, and they probably should fit lengthwise just fine. So it looks like you guys both have your first layer. You've got your sauce, you've got your noodles. Now we're going to spread the ricotta mixture on top of the noodles. And now that you've done that, you don't have to be perfect, because once it's heated up, it's going to melt across the layer.
Okay.
Now let's sprinkle a layer of the mozzarella cheese on top. And Craig, I think you have extra mozzarella cheese, so you could be very generous on yours. So now that we've got that, I want to go ahead and do a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese on top of the mozzarella. And then once you have your sprinkling of Parmesan cheese, now we're going to start all over. Start again with the sauce, and we'll go through the layers again. So 1 more layer of sauce. And at the end of all this, we should have extra sauce, because after everything's baked and we put the lasagna on the plate, we can add some extra sauce on top of the lasagna to serve it. So at this point, you put a good layer of tin foil on top of the pan. Once you have your tin foil on, it's ready to bake. So you've got your oven on at 350 degrees, preheated. You're going to put the lasagna in the oven for 50 minutes at 350 with the tin foil on it. And you'll find that after 15 minutes, it'll bubble. It'll be bubbling. If you look at it after 50 minutes and you think it could go a little bit longer, leave it in for 60 minutes. But I think 50 is probably just right. So go ahead and put it in the oven, and we'll get it baking. Okay, so we're ready to put the lasagna in the oven. Craig and Susan are going to take their foil covered lasagna and put it in their oven at 350 degrees for 50 minutes. There it goes. And then we'll see you guys in about 50 minutes. See you soon.
See you then.
Okay, we've had our 50 minutes of baking and we're ready to take our lasagna out of the oven. So go ahead, Corn and Craig, take your lasagna out and take the tin foil off, and let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
All right.
Lots of them. Oh yeah.
Okay, looking good. And it should be nice and hot and bubbling.
Yeah. Steamy too.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, so we've had the lasagna in for 50 minutes. It's now cooled for 15 minutes, and now it's ready to cut. So guys, go ahead and cut it. You can cut it up into 8 slices or just cut out one piece, whatever is good. Let's get it cut, put onto a plate, and then we'll add some marinara sauce on top and some Parmesan cheese, and we'll try it out. All right, Corn, you want to bring it closer to the camera, Corn. Let's take a really good close look at it. Oh yeah, it looks great. All right, Craig and Susan, let's take a look at yours and then let's try it out.
Mmm.
How is it? Came out okay?
Perfect. First lasagna my whole life. Mm. Wow. Fantastic.
Really good flavor. Love
I think
it.
I'm turning Italian. I really think so.
Oh boy.
Awesome.
Okay.
More-
Well, thanks for visiting. Come back often. Bye, everybody.
Like and subscribe.